Hey, big alert for watching this video. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to smash that subscribe button and simply click the like button. Today is a bit of a different video. I actually wanted to tell you a story. Incidentally, I have been playing Yokai Watch and you know, getting into a little bit of gaming, also preparing my exams for school because I'm almost at the end of my school year. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm very busy lately. Interjectionally, I wanted to talk about something else in between the whole gaming thing going on, and I wanted to upload as much as I can. But nonetheless, all that aside, and my camera is about to die at the wrong moment. Oh my goodness.
Later that same evening.
Hello you guys, it is 5 hours later. I was going to do this at 5 PM. It is 9:30 PM. I hope you guys are doing good. I actually wanted to read an article, and it's not like a news or a political article. It's actually a story of a journalist who went through a very rough experience, and it is written by Catherine Snowden on BBC News, and I wanted to read this story to you because I thought it was intriguing, and I am conjecturing that it's about a flight that went wrong. The title is "I was on a flight, but British Airways told me I wasn't." An extraordinary thing happened to me on a recent flight to Madrid. I unwittingly travelled under the wrong identity, becoming a potential security issue, and no one realised. I was packing for a short business trip to make a film for the BBC when I attempted to check in online. It didn't work. So I headed to London Heathrow Airport to do it in person. Upon arrival there, I tried once again to check myself in, this time at the self-service booth. Again, I was denied, the machine flashing up an error code, assistance required. I ended up at the check-in desk, and after checking in my bag, a British Airways staff member handed me a boarding pass. Admittedly, I didn't read the pass in any detail, but headed off to get processed in the security area as normal. Pause there. Admittedly, I did not read the pass in any detail. That's where the mistake starts. If you receive your boarding pass, I know you're going to be like, obviously it is your pass, but it could not be because the staff member gave you the pass. So you don't know whose or what the pass is. And when you check in, you always check your stuff twice. I always do that when I go to the airport. Me personally, that's already where the mistake started. This is one of the reasons why she got into the issue. What is the issue? We'll get to that later.
Hey, have you ever thought of subscribing? It is totally free and there are no charges coupled to it. So feel free to subscribe because what do you have to lose by subscribing to me? Anyways, back to the video.
At the gate, I was among the first passengers to board flight British Airways 7055, departing at 10:50 on 23 April. Operated by British Airways Spanish partner carrier Iberia. I was in row 6. Dutifully, I handed my passport and boarding pass to a member of British Airways ground crew who glanced at them both and waved me through. Once on board, I realized my seat was in business class. I assumed this must have been a free upgrade because I would of course usually have been in economy. We had chosen this flight because it was the most cost-effective option with all our filming equipment. No sooner were we off the tarmac and cruising at altitude than the delicious baked cod and chickpea stew lunch was served. Tiramisu for dessert too. No complimentary alcohol for me though. It was a work trip. It was on arrival in the Spanish capital when things started to go wrong. A boarding pass mystery. As soon as I gained mobile signal on the ground, an email popped up. My return flight had been cancelled. I asked BBC's travel provider what happened and what the plan was for getting me home. In response, the travel company said it had been cancelled because I was a no-show on an outbound flight. I explained that I was in fact very much in Madrid and waiting, endlessly it seemed, to collect my checked luggage from the baggage belt. After some no doubt confusing conversations between the travel team and British Airways, I received a further message to say the airline was adamant I had not travelled and that the boarding pass was in my possession did not display the correct details. This is where I'm confused. You asked BBC's travel provider what the plan is to get home. You cannot get home if you're in your home country because BBC registered yourself in the home country. Catherine, you for sure are already in BBC, still think that you did not take your flight and that you are still in England. So, you took somebody else's boarding pass, assuming it was yours because you didn't check it, and you took the place of another passenger. And now my other question is, how the freak do you use your boarding pass? Second of all, why is your boarding pass just loafing around, just idling around and being passed around without you actively being present? Because the holder of the boarding pass is just MIA, it's just absent. So that's also what confused me. So I have a bunch of questions. This was when I realized that the name of my boarding pass was not mine. It was a man called Hugh H. BBC is not using QH's full name, which was printed on the pass. His name was also printed on my luggage tags. Arguing on this one is very, very, very difficult. British Airways claimed there was no way I could have travelled using that document as security checks wouldn't allow it, but I did. My colleague who was seated a few rows behind me can vouch for me being on that plane. The airline was so sure that I was not in Madrid that the BBC had to book me another seat on the flight home I was originally booked onto at a great expense. British Airways has offered a £500 goodwill voucher as well as refunding the cost of the extra ticket. The security protocol for passengers boarding flights is relatively simple. Ground crew must check the name on the boarding pass matches that one on the passport presented. Why did the stewardesses or the staff on the plane not check the photo and be like, this is a bit odd. You don't look like the person on the picture. Are you sure this is you? They somehow let her through. And sometimes, well, this is my personal experience, the staff asks you, what's your name? I'm like, yo, it's Noah. Or the staff member at the airport itself sometimes like, what's your name? Or what do you do? Or just gives you a question just to make sure, you know? But somehow this does not happen, which is very, very nonsensical and unusual in this case. This process appears to have broken down in my case, the name checking, with no one at check-in or the boarding gate identifying the discrepancy between the name and the boarding pass and my passport. So what went wrong? And who is Hugh H? I tried to find out. An unusual case. Some internet sleuthing brought limited proof of Hugh H existence. I made a few attempts to contact accounts using his full name via various social media channels, to no avail. This made me fear that he might not even exist. I did manage to get in touch with someone with a similar name, Jonathan Hugh H, who it turns out flew on a British Airways flight on 24 April. A day after mine, landing at Heathrow. That's where she departed from Heathrow. So, is it possible his name was somehow floating around in the British Airways system? It's really worrying, Jonathan told me. My married name, which was on my booking confirmation and passport, begins with the letter H, though it is very different to Hugh H's surname. Could this have factored in? It's impossible to know, and British Airways cannot confirm anything for privacy reasons. Simon Calder, travel correspondent at The Independent, said it was to be expected. Mistakes will sometimes happen in the high pressure, deadline-strewn world of aviation. Look, I know there's a lot of stress, all that drought of just having to do things urgently, fast, efficiently. Efficiently is the word that I need right now. Because what they did not do is do it efficiently. From Catherine's side, she did not even check her passport. She did not check her passport, nor her boarding pass. Neither did the staff of the plane. Neither did the staff at Heathrow. So all of them are making mistakes. Why did I just say it like that? That's just where it went all wrong. So all these mistakes piled up to a big debacle, fantastic, stupendous, beguiling fiasco. Going through all this must be insufferable. Nonetheless, but he added, this case is unusual in that the error wasn't picked up at the departure gates, where it could have been easily rectified. That's what I'm saying. If she would have checked her boarding, the airline needs to urgently investigate and make amends. Aviation security and operations expert Julian Bray added, there is a security issue here, in that the plane took off with an incorrect passenger manifest. It is wrong and it shouldn't have happened. The passenger manifest should be correct, as it is an important document that shows who is traveling and where. That said, as the name of the baggage tag matched the one on the boarding pass and the correct number of people were on the board when the plane took off, I can see why it happened and how it happened. Others would argue that it was not a security risk, because both myself and my luggage went through all the usual security checks. A spokesperson for British Airways, which managed my tickets as well as a Heathrow ground crew in my case, said, we've contacted our customer to apologize for this genuine human error. While incidents like this are extremely rare, we've taken proactive steps to ensure it doesn't happen again. Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Authority, the CAA, has told me it has launched an investigation into what happened. And she was going for a simple work trip. The whole rigmarole that she has to go through. Heathrow Airport said in response to a request for comment that it was not responsible for the ground crew or anything else in my case, and security screening went ahead as normal. Iberia, whose only involvement in my journey was operating the outbound plane and cabin crew, has not responded to a request for comment. Of course. What would they say? As is nothing out of the ordinary, my passport and boarding pass were not manually checked on the plane. Apologies and investigations aside, the question remains how this was ever possible in this day and age of high security. I agree. Catherine, I could not agree more with you. On social media, there are threads about this type of thing happening around the world in the past, but the mistake was rectified before takeoff, anterior to takeoff, as there were two people trying to sit in the same seat. That's different because the boarding pass holder is there. Different is, this time the boarding pass holder is not there. What happened to me appears to be different, as my name was seemingly replaced with someone who seemingly wasn't traveling to Spain that day. I'm not sure I'll ever know what happened, but one thing's for sure, I won't ever walk away from a check-in desk without reading every detail printed on my boarding pass in the future. Catherine, that's what you should have done in the but oh well, all well, ends well. This was a magnifique story. I wanted to tell you it because it's one of those stories where you're just like, wow! This is how worse flights can go. This is how bad flights can go. Flights are something else, man. Well, this was the story, and I want to thank you all greatly for listening. Wow. Hopefully you enjoyed this story and appreciated this different video that I've uploaded. So, see ya. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that subscribe button and click the like button. Hope you did one for today and a wonderful video, and of course wish you one and a big bye. Ooh, hold on. Hey. Hey. Welcome to the channel. This is your boy Biggtout, and you know this is Biggtout. I'm really about to come through. This is what I freaking do best. Never for the freaking test. I'm first and I'm freaking never last, bro. What you about to do? Because the boy is like a pro, though. You wanna see me better? Hey, get it freaking zoom in. Hey, you know boys really zooming past you because I'm really freaking past, not been in the past. Hey, you know I'm really good. I'm in the freaking rep murder rapper like I freaking should, like I freaking would. Hey, you know I'm really good. Go to the freaking left, to the right. I'm really bright like I freaking like. I do it right, something just fell down, let me get it back up, cause you know I'm really up, I'm not down, in a climb, and you know this is Biggtout, this is how I get down, and you know the sound really going good, and you know this is how I freaking do it good, 1 to the freaking 2 to the freaking 3, this is on the camera, you freaking see me right now, and you know I'm about to shoot it like pow, 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 and you know if you mess with me, I'll make you go ow, 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 this is a freaking punch, and you know I'm really about to munch like some freaking food. Are you talking pizza? There's freaking freaking delicious. If you fight me, I can be really vicious. Hey, you know this beat is also delicious. This is what I freaking do, you know I really do it good in the milk. This is how I freaking do it like I should, really good. Said I tried, swore I died, and I did it freaking twice. It was a freaking matter. Hey, you know this is Biggtout, I freaking get really better. Freaking freestyle, didn't do it in a while. If you wanna call me, you can just freaking dial right now. And you know I'm not freaking a clown. And you know this is how do you know the freaking sound. And you know I'm really good. And you know this is how to freaking switch up like, hey, up, down, left, right, and I'm about to count to the freaking 8. 1, 2, this is what I freaking do. 3, 4, this is what I'm for. 5, 6, about to eat some Twix. 7, 8, never about to freaking make you wait. Cause you know I'm never late, I'm punctual. And you know I know it all, that's erudite. And you know every time I get it right. And you know I'm really bright like a freaking light. I already said that once, but it doesn't matter. Cause you know this is how I get it better. And you know I'm really good, bro. What you about to do, boy, comes out of the hood though. Born in Amsterdam, you don't know about that. Cause you know every time this is where I come from. And my Amsterdam fam say hello. And you know you gotta freaking get and holler. Hey, ooh, hey, ooh, I went down on that one. What the freak? That was unexpected.